They say the greatest trial to ever face humanity is not a war, not a famine, but a man who will claim to be God, a man who will walk the earth with miracles that defy logic, commanding mountains, reviving the dead, even calling rain from the sky, and yet he will be the greatest liar to ever live. His name is Al-Masih Dajjal, the false Messiah. But have you ever wondered why Allah made him one-eyed? Why not crippled? Why this one specific mark that the Prophet, peace be upon him, describes so vividly? This mystery isn't just about his face, it's about his reality, what he represents. The Prophet, peace be upon him, said in a hadith narrated by Al-Bukhari, "No prophet was sent except that he warned his people of the one-eyed liar. Indeed, he is one-eyed, and your Lord is not one-eyed. Every prophet, from Nuh to Musa, from Isa to Muhammad, peace be upon him, warned their people about him, not because they feared his power, but because of the deception he brings. The Dajjal's one eye is not just a defect, it is a sign, a physical symbol of spiritual blindness. You see, the eye represents vision, not just what we see around us, but what we perceive. To have one eye open and the other sealed is to see only one side of truth. The material side, that's the world of the Dajjal, where wealth, power, and appearance are everything. He will make the blind see, he will heal the sick, he will feed the hungry, but all for one purpose, to be worshipped. His world will look bright, but it will be filled with darkness. He will open one eye to this dunya and close the other to the akhirah. That's why the Prophet, peace be upon him, described him with terrifying precision, to teach us not just to fear his coming, but to recognize his ideology. Dajjal will be one-eyed, and yet millions will follow him because their hearts are one-eyed too. They see the dunya, but not the hereafter. They see wealth, but not worship. They see creation, but not the Creator. It is no coincidence that the Prophet, peace be upon him, said, "Written between his eyes will be the word disbeliever." Every believer will read it, whether literate or illiterate. Notice something subtle. The believers see with their hearts, the disbelievers, no matter how sharp their vision, will not recognize him. So the one-eyed Dajjal is not just a person, he is a mirror of humanity's inner blindness. Today you live in a world built on sight without insight. Screens flood your eyes with images. Success is measured by what is seen, and slowly, we are becoming what he already is, obsessed with what is visible, blind to what is eternal. The Dajjal's blindness in one eye is a warning to the Ummah. Don't become like him before he even arrives. His single eye will be wide and shining, but his heart sealed, while the true believer may have nothing of the dunya, yet sees with two eyes, one for this world and one for the next. The Prophet, peace be upon him, said that his eye will be like a floating grape, deformed, bulging, unable to focus, a literal reflection of his moral distortion. He will claim to see the world perfectly, yet he cannot even see the truth of his own soul. But here's the deeper question. If Dajjal's physical eye represents spiritual blindness, what about his other eye? Why is it gone completely? What happened to it? And what secret does it hold about his connection to the unseen world? When the Prophet, peace be upon him, described the Dajjal's eye, he gave us details so precise that every believer could recognize him instantly. Even without sight, he said, his right eye will be blind, and his left eye will be like a floating grape. Some narrations mention it differently. Some say the right, others the left, but the meaning is the same. He will be physically deformed, spiritually hollow, and morally blind. But there's something deeper here. The Prophet, peace be upon him, didn't just describe how he looks. He described how he sees. The Dajjal will see the world, but not the soul. He will see the palace, not the prayer. He will see the body, not the heart. He will judge everything by appearance, by material vision. That is why his eye is the symbol of this dunya. He will command the clouds to rain. He will tell the earth to grow crops. He will bring what looks like life, but it will be soulless. The prophet, peace be upon him, said he will come with paradise and hell, but what he calls paradise is actually hell. Think about that. He will offer people everything they desire, food, luxury, safety, and call it Jannah. But in reality, it is Jahannam. He will show what looks beautiful, but in Allah's sight, it is ugly. He will make falsehood appear as truth, because his vision, like his eye, is one-sided. There's one thing Dajjal cannot see, and that is the unseen. He cannot see faith. He cannot see angels. He cannot see Allah's decree. His power is limited to what human eyes can see, the visible world, but the believer sees beyond that. When the prophet, peace be upon him, warned about him, he said, "If he comes while I'm among you, I will defend you from him. And if he comes after me, then every believer must defend himself with his faith." Faith is the second eye, the one that sees what Dajjal cannot. That is why in the Hadith, every believer, even the illiterate, will be able to see the word written on his forehead, because the heart of the believer is the eye of the soul. Look around today. The Dajjal system already prepares the world to see only with one eye. A world obsessed with what is visible, images, beauty, fame, luxury. Everything is filtered through screens, a single eye of glass. The Dajjalic eye of our time is not yet the man, but his ideology. It teaches people to chase the visible and deny the invisible, to see the creation and forget the creator, and in that blindness, the world prepares itself for him. Because before Dajjal appears physically, his trial appears spiritually. He won't need to invent his world. Humanity will build it for him. Scholars said that every person has two sets of eyes. The eyes of the head, which see the world, and the eyes of the heart, which see the truth. Dajjal lost one, but so have many hearts today. He is the mirror of those who love the world but neglect the hereafter. The prophet, peace be upon him, said, "When you hear that the Dajjal has emerged, keep far from him, for by Allah, a man will go to him thinking he is a believer, but he will end up following him because of the doubts he stirs. Why? Because his illusions are crafted for one-eyed hearts, people who see only what glitters, but not what guides. So yes, Dajjal is one-eyed, but his true blindness is not in his face. It's in his soul. He will see the entire world, but fail to see Allah, and that is why he is the false Messiah." But what about the other Messiah? Prophet Isa, peace be upon him. Why will he be the one chosen to destroy Dajjal? And what does that battle mean for the final age of mankind? The world will reach its darkest moment. Chaos will spread like wildfire. The Dajjal will rule from city to city, performing what seems like miracles, deceiving nations, seducing hearts, even entering the holy lands of the earth. But there will come a moment when his illusion will shatter, not by armies, not by scholars, not by any technology, but by a single gaze. The prophet, peace be upon him, said, "Then Allah will send the Messiah, son of Mary. He will descend near the white minaret in the east of Damascus, wearing two garments lightly dyed with saffron, placing his hands on the wings of two angels. When Isa, peace be upon him, descends, the world will tremble. The believers will recognize him instantly. Their faces will glow with relief and awe. And as for Dajjal, he will begin to melt." The prophet, peace be upon him, said, "When the false Messiah sees him, he will dissolve like salt in water." Why? Because the liar cannot stand before the truth. The one-eyed deceiver cannot face the one whose sight is perfect, whose vision sees both the world and the hereafter. Isa, peace be upon him, was raised to the heavens, not dead, not crucified, but alive, preserved by Allah until the final hour. He returns not to bring a new message, but to restore the old one. The truth of Tawhid, the oneness of Allah. When he gazes at Dajjal, that single look burns through every layer of illusion. The false paradise, the rivers of fire and water, the fake miracles, all dissolve instantly, because the light of prophethood exposes what the eye of deception cannot hide. Dajjal built his world on one eye. the eye of the dunya, but Isa returns with the eye of the Akira, the gaze of divine truth. And in that moment, the test of sight reaches its conclusion. The eye that worshipped creation falls. The eye that saw the Creator reigns. The Prophet, peace be upon him, said that Isa, peace be upon him, will chase Dajjal to the land of Palestine, near a place called Lud in modern-day Israel. There, Dajjal will try to flee, terrified for the first time, but Isa will catch him, and with a single strike, the liar will fall. The Prophet, peace be upon him, said, Isa will pursue him until he catches him at the gate of Lud and kills him there. That moment marks the death of deception, the end of the greatest fitna the earth has ever seen. After Dajjal's defeat, the world will breathe again. The Jinn who served him will scatter. The sky will open with blessings, and Isa, peace be upon him, will rule with justice, truth, and mercy. He will break the cross, refuting false worship. He will kill the swine, ending corruption, and he will abolish jizya, because Islam will prevail completely, and faith will unite humanity once again. Peace will spread like morning light. Even the wild beasts will walk among humans without harm. Children will play with serpents and lions, and the earth will yield its treasures. It will be an age where truth is seen clearly, both eyes open, both eyes open, both worlds united under one truth. There is no God but Allah. So why did Allah make Dajjal one-eyed? Because every time we blink, we are reminded of two realities, this world and the next. Dajjal lost one, and so did every heart that forgets the Akira. His single eye is the mirror of a humanity that worships what it sees and denies what it can't. But Isa's gaze restores that balance, the eye of truth that pierces every illusion. The Quran says, indeed, falsehood is bound to vanish, and that is what will happen when the Messiah of truth meets the Messiah of lies. So every time you look in the mirror, ask yourself, do I see with one eye, chasing the dunya, blinded to the unseen? Or do I see with two, one fixed on the world and the other fixed on Allah? Because the trial of Dajjal isn't just about him, it's about us, and which eye we choose to open.